Achiever, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to write an outstanding personal statement to get admission to that university you want to get to. How do I know this? I have been through the journey. I have gained admissions to top universities in the world. Evidence. And I am here to share with you a step-by-step guide on how to write an outstanding personal statement. I share content on how to help you process your university applications and get scholarships for grad school and even in some cases undergraduate studies. So if you know that this is your thing, make sure you subscribe. Without wasting much time, let's get to it. How do you write an outstanding personal statement? I'm going to share with you 7 steps to help you write a perfect personal statement. So I will be reading aspects of my personal statements to you, which is why it is important for you to watch this video till the end, because I will give you examples out of my winning personal statements to help you write a perfect personal statement. First step, I say this all the time, is research. Research. Read about the program, read about the university you're applying to, read about the city where the university is located, read everything about the university that you can find. And that is important because it helps you give the university what they want. So on most university websites, you would realize that they write what they want in an ideal candidate, especially at the requirements section of the admissions page. You'd realize that they tell you what they want in their students. So go and read well to know what they want, so that when you are writing your personal statement, you know what to put in there to impress the people vetting your application. How would you get a good introduction for your personal statement? I'm going to recommend 2 ways to you. First, you can start with a story, and this story is a story which should be related to the program you want to study. For example, you grew up in a war zone, right? Maybe there was conflict in your community, and then you want to go and study conflict resolution. It is important that you rope that in the introduction if you're able to. So you tell them about how your background influenced you to apply for this program, because you want to be able to contribute to solve a certain problem. So in the introduction, you have to use anecdotes, or you have to use examples that would make the people understand you, because you have to give them an idea of your personality before you proceed with the rest of the personal statement. So the introduction gives you an opportunity to write about your background briefly. The other way that you can go about the introduction is also to be a bit academic about it. Let them understand that you know something about the subject you're coming to study. Let them know that you have an idea of the industry and why it means a lot to you to contribute to that industry. I am going to read from my personal statement for when I was applying for an MA in Media Practice for Development and Social Change, which was successful, by the way. And so I'm going to read the introduction to that, and also read a different introduction to give you an idea of how to start with a story. This may not necessarily be like the template for it, but it could be something along these lines. So let's go. I grew up to witness the transition of media from a mundane form into a vibrant one in the last 3 decades, especially with the introduction of internet technology and digital media. The media's role in promoting development in contemporary times is more pronounced, making it incumbent on me to advance my knowledge in the field. This is my introduction, and I have made it a bit personal. There's a bit of a story there, even though it's not a huge story, and I just wrote about how I grew up to see a different kind of media space and now how it's transitioned. Let me read a second introduction to you in a different personal statement. Here goes. Communication has evolved, and the opportunities which hitherto pertain to communication have also advanced. This calls for strategic interventions by communication professionals like me to ensure that the gains of communication for development are realized. I believe that peace, boosting economies, eradicating poverty, promoting human rights, among other factors of global development, thrive largely on communication between individuals, organizations, and governments. This is not just for communications people, this is for people who want to apply across board. So just make it program specific. And these are basic steps you should follow. Next, let them understand your academic interest and professional experience in relation to the program you are going to study. So it is important for you to let them have an idea of the work you have done in that field, and the academic experience you also have in that field, or the academic interest you have in that field. If you want to continue with a program you have previously worked in, or a program that you have studied before, this would be the chance for you to let them know. And if you are switching fields, it's also the best time for you to let them know how that academic background you have has a bearing on what you want to study. So one thing that is crucial for you to notice that you always have to create a link between the work that you do and what you want to study, and what you have studied in the past, and the work and the program you want to study. So I'm going to read again an example for you to have an idea. With my interest in human rights and development and my background in journalism, an MA in media practice for development and social change will equip me to efficiently use media to drive social change, plus contribute to my country's fight against poverty, corruption, and injustice. You realize that even in just one sentence, I have tied in my background and also my interest. So I've written about my background in journalism, and I've written about my interest in human rights, and how these two will equip me to be efficient in studying an MA in media for development and social change. So this is what I mean by tie it together. If you do that, it makes it easy for the person reading to be convinced. Next is suitability for the program. How really are you suitable for the program? That is one of the things that you should write in your personal statement. As I mentioned them, I think that it wouldn't be out of place if you write them in the order that I mentioned them, if you write a personal statement in the order that I mentioned them. But then again, you are the one writing the essay, so if you think that it's good to edit one, put one before the other, it's totally your choice. There's no blueprint for it. I am just giving you an idea of how to write a very good personal statement. The next thing you have to write about is your suitability for the program. What makes you the ideal candidate for the program? So if there are 1,500 people applying for the program and they're just taking, say, 250 people, why should they pick you? So that is why you need a paragraph to expatiate your suitability for the program and why you are an ideal candidate that should be considered to study in their university or in their department. So again, let me read an example to you. My suitability for this program is grounded in my interest, educational background, work experience, and future aspirations. My undergraduate degree in communication studies laid the foundation for me to appreciate the enormous role that media plays in social political growth, culture, and development, with courses such as development communication contributing significantly to that regard. So in just one sentence again, I have written about why I am good for that program. I have written about my interest. I've written about my background. I have mentioned a specific course that I did in my undergraduate studies that makes me suitable to continue to study in that field. And this is one thing that you should never forget to add, because if you do not tell them why you are suitable for the program, how then do you expect them to know that you're suitable for the program and pick you? Still on my suitability for the program, I add that I have worked in 4 media organizations where I focused on development journalism with interest in human rights and gender. I worked as a communications consultant with the United Nations Population Fund and currently a member of the organization's media advocacy network. I have mentored 900 girls in mentorship programs and used media to advocate for equal opportunities for women. My interest in digital media inspired me to undertake my undergraduate dissertation on blogging in journalism. Based on my findings, I started a blog dedicated to empowering women online. What else do you want? I have written about what I do, the impact that I make, the programs that I study, the work that I have done, an organization that I belong to. You do not need to write 100 paragraphs or even 5 paragraphs. You just can put these in 1 paragraph or just 2 paragraphs. And one thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning is that sometimes the departments will tell you the number of words they want in the personal statement. But if they do not tell you, do not make it too lengthy. You can write a personal statement of about 500 or 700 words. Make sure that it's compact with a lot of juice, if you get what I mean. After you have told them why you're a good fit for the program, you should also let them know what you are looking forward to from the program. I am inspired by the models outlined for this course, and I believe they will give me different perspectives and deepen my thoughts on communication across borders. I look forward to the module on communication and international affairs because international communication systems was one of my favorite courses during my undergraduate studies. As someone from the Global South, I believe communication plays a role in international affairs, including how developing countries are perceived on the global stage. This model will equip me to help improve communication practice for productive results. So this is just a demonstration of how you can talk about the models that you studied and what the models will do for you, and how the models are linked to something you have studied before, and why you are excited about studying it in future. Why that program in that university? Why do you want to go to the University of Oxford and not Harvard? Why do you want to go to LSE and not UCL? Why do you want to go to Leeds and not Sussex? You have to let them know why you want to study that program in that university. This is absolutely important, because if you do not convince them, like, really, why us? Why not any other university? Even if it's just one sentence, make sure you put something about this in your personal statement. You can talk about the university ranking, you can talk about a professor and how you have read their research, or how you like their research area, or how you would like to work with that professor and also learn from that professor. You can write about the departments, and like I said, their teaching models. You can also write about how they have resources. Maybe they have libraries stocked with a lot of books on this, or even the university's history. Maybe the university is known for fighting for a particular cause, and you are drawn to that because you believe in similar values. I'm going to read this from my University of Sussex personal statement. The University of Sussex is my ultimate choice because it is ranked the best worldwide for development studies, with inspiring professors like Dr. Eleftheria Lekakis, apologies if I pronounced that wrongly, whose research interests in digital media and media activism are similar to my interests. In 2016, the university co-hosted a panel discussion with my country's education ministry on how Global South and North universities can form effective partnerships, emphasizing the university's interest in promoting development, which I find exemplary. Depending on personally what your reasons are, these are some of the reasons that you can put for why you want to study in that university. Next, tie the program you want to study to your career goals. What are your career goals, and how would the program help you to achieve your career aspirations? I really do not think you should study a program that really has nothing to do with your goals anyway, but if it doesn't, find a way to tie it in. The last thing I would encourage you to add to your personal statement is, what would you do for the university? How would you contribute to the departments? How would you contribute to making sure that you also help in some way? Because you're not just going to take, you're also there to give. It's an academic space, it's a learning environment. Write also about how you would contribute to the university. For instance, are you going to be active in seminars? Are you going to be active in workshops? Are you going to contribute to helping other students? Are you going to vie to become a student leader? What would you do? How would you volunteer? Are you going to be part of the university sports team? How do you intend to contribute to the university? It's also important that you write that. You can also talk about your volunteering and other interests, because you want to exhibit leadership potential and also let them know that you are a very disciplined person. You have the tenacity to go through this. You are very interactive. You have good team working strategies or approaches. And so you can write something like, I enjoy participating in outreaches, reading autobiographies, as well as watching movies and documentaries of local and international content that inspire me to reflect on current happenings. So don't just say you like watching Netflix. Just write about your hobbies. Just one sentence, please. I believe in making your personal statement more academic in a way that would tie in and also mention the problems that you want to solve. If this video has been useful to you, then you would be excited about my next video, because in that video, I'm not going to talk much. I'm just going to read an entire personal statement of how I got into a top university in the world with that personal statement. And so if you know that this is your interest, make sure you subscribe and also hit the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. Let me know in the comments, which university are you writing, are you applying to? For all you know, you just meet a schoolmate in the comment section and you guys can share ideas. So let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and bye bye.